The U.S. is telling Germany, wait, let me do that again, Germany, that it needs to send troops something in my voice, I guess, into Syria to go up against ISIS. That's right. You, Germany, you have to send troops to Syria from now on. That in and of itself, right? That in and of itself should be newsworthy. Think about that. After all, Germany is a sovereign nation. At least the last time I checked. Its military does not answer to us, right? Can we be ordering Germany's military to go fight somewhere? Apparently so. But the real irony of this development may be the fact that of all the countries in Europe, Germany is the one who was least responsible for the mess that the U.S. and the Brits, yes, us and the Brits, and some others, caused in places like the Middle East, for example, the invasion of Iraq. Yet Germany is receiving the brunt of the refugee crisis that was caused by the war that they didn't really take part in. That's interesting, right? Because it's ended up misplacing millions of people, and many of them have gone into Germany, and you probably know from the stories you've seen here on this network the problems that are being caused in Europe with the populist movement as a result of that. This is kind of a smart conversation, but today we hear this news, right, that the United States is telling Germany, hey, you got to send your troops into Syria. Joining us now is Michelle Greenstein, our NRS correspondent, to kind of explain that. Let's start with the premise that the United States is essentially telling a sovereign nation what to do with its army. That's weird, no?
Right. It's maybe weird on its face, but it's definitely not news. It's definitely not anything new. The U.S. has definitely been doing that for a while. In fact, Trump himself has long been calling for Germany to increase their defense spending. You may remember that one of his main campaign promises was to get the rest of the NATO countries to do their part. Why is the U.S. doing all the work? We're going to get the rest of them. We're doing too much work. So that's definitely been a talking point for him as well. But on Sunday, the U.S. Special Representative to Syria called for Germany to deploy troops to northern Syria. His name is Jim Jeffries, and he says that he wants these German troops to actually replace U.S. troops so that we aren't paying as much of a price, but now Germany will probably take that over. He also says that the U.S. expects an answer on this within this month, within July. Now, Jeffries says that these Syrian local forces wouldn't be doing any combat on the ground. They wouldn't deal with this on the ground combat, but they would supply air support and training, and this would, of course, serve two objectives. One is to weaken the Syrian government, because the Syrian government would be doing most of the on-the-ground combat against ISIS, and also, of course, to lessen the casualties that we see coming from the West.
What, by the way, is the German reaction? Because I would imagine that Germany, being a proud, independent country with a longer history than ours, by the way, probably would not take so kindly to the United States telling it what to do with its military, right?
That's a good question. The reaction is certainly mixed. Today, Germany said that it currently has no plans to deploy any on-the-ground troops to Syria, but let's not forget that Germany is already involved in Syria. We have a lot of non-combatant military support, such as surveillance aircraft or some jets, like their Tornado jets. But there are a bit of internal politics going on here. We have the Democratic Party, the SPD, who gave a clear rejection of this, saying that, under no circumstances would Germany deploy ground troops, and they're joined by the Greens, the Free Democrats, and the Left, which is the furthest left party. But the Christian Democratic Union and their coalition, they say that we shouldn't be so quick to reject this request from the U.S., which makes sense. They're the further right party, both fiscally and socially.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, if you look at this, it's a smart problem to try and analyze, because on the one hand you have the culture wars going on in places like Germany right now because of the populist movement that's very anti-immigration, which has to do with what we're talking about right now. You also have Trump basically blasting the Germans for taking Putin's natural gas when they could where they should be paying more to take ours.
Right, they aren't buying as much U.S. natural gas.
And then you also have the conversation about the fact that we're told, I think 3 or 4 months ago, that ISIS was already eliminated and gone. Right. So I mean, with all these things going on, it's hard to put your arms around this thing.
Right. So to your first point that you said in your intro to me, like, who are we to tell foreign countries what to do with their defense spending? Here's what the former chancellor said. He might agree with you. He said, I'd have liked the federal government to tell him, meaning Trump, once or twice that it's none of his business. This isn't a banana republic over here. So that's the SPD, the more center-left party, the main rival of the CDU and the CSU. But to your question of whether or not ISIS was defeated. Yes, last year Trump literally declared victory against the Islamic State, right? And he ordered that withdrawal of U.S. troops. But we're still seeking the support, the U.S. that is still seeking the support from its allies, and that includes Germany, for this anti-ISIS coalition, which is why many say that this war on Syria, the so-called civil war, let's think about it. Who has it hurt? It's killed hundreds of thousands, right? It's displaced millions of Syrians, and the U.S. is supporting these Al-Qaeda and Al-Qaeda affiliated groups to weaken the Syrian government. So who has it hurt? It's hurt the Syrian government, right? Which is why many say that this whole anti-ISIS coalition has really been a front to actually weaken the government of Syria in any way possible, and it certainly has been successful. And another point I'd want to make is if our intention is truly, to weaken ISIS, why is it that we've just renewed oil sanctions against Syria? Meanwhile, ISIS has been allowed to export oil that it stole from Syria all the way to Israel. So there are a few contradictions there.
Yeah, and there probably will continue to be for quite some time, no matter, by the way, and in fairness to Donald Trump, no matter who's in office, because it didn't start with him, and it probably won't end with him.
And what didn't start with him is selling a war using a humanitarian narrative. That's definitely not a Trump thing, but he is continuing it.
Well said. Thank you, my dear, once again, for another great report.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, Shalom Yashra. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son in their proper names, in the Holy Spirit of truth. Call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Ha Rakah Kodesh, Ma'amath. This is Mazan Ban Yashra Allah, coming out of the Lion's Den camp of Yashra Allah in Jacksonville, Florida. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Salutation to the Akim out there around the four corners of the earth preaching this truth and sincerity. And also the few Akwavim and children that believe in spirit and in truth as well. Today I'm going to do a quick brief topic on this video you just watched. Germany rebuffs U.S. order to send troops. And as you seen this guy and this woman talking, this guy Rick Sanchez, you see that basically, you have the devil being the devil that he is, man. The so-called white man, white race. Mainly these damn Khazars, man. These fake Jewish rats. Amalek, man. They are the ones that's really funding everything that's going on over there in the Middle East, man. They are the ones that control everything that's going on over here in America as well, man. They just sit back behind the scenes. The Rothschilds, the DuPonts, and the Gettys, man. Those wicked families that control the banks. What they call the banking and elite families. What they call the Illuminati. Those guys, man. They the ones that control everything. And they come from the top tribe of Edom, man. And they've been doing this wickedness and scheming for some time now, man. Ever since the time that they came out of the Caucasus Mountains, man, through Alexander, the one they call the Great. They've been this how they get down, man. They go into a place, they infiltrate it. They fund both sides and give them each other's weapons and make them turn against each other, man. They've been doing this since that time, man. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to all the wars, man. They did it in World War I, II, Vietnam, and they gonna also do it in World War III, as we see, man. All this is gonna build up to that main event, man, that World War III. And you see that the chick was saying, America basically does this all the time. Throw out and give commands and orders, man. And it's not even Trump, like he was saying. Even if Trump wasn't in office, this stuff would still be happening, man. Because those elite banking elite families that I named, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, and the Gettys, they the ones that sit at the table and pull all the strings, man, and give all the orders. Trump is just a puppet, just like Obama was a puppet. And any president after them, guess what? He's gonna be a puppet, man. Cause they just the face of Babylon, man. The face of Rome. The face of this place. You know, just like they had in Rome, they had Caesars, man. In Egypt, they had the Pharaoh. You know, the same thing with this president, man. They just needed somebody to represent, you know what I'm saying, the harlot, man, the great whore, Babylon. Because this is what this place America is, man. And with that being said, man, I'm going to just go ahead and get a couple of scriptures and go right into a lesson, man. This is going to be an impromptu, nothing really planned. I just seen this video and I wanted to get a couple of scriptures because this is prophecy within itself. You know, this shows you that these Edomites, man, all the people that was in league with them, they don't want nothing to do with America, man. Just like they said, just like they was talking not Russia, but how they was talking about Germany. Germany said they not gonna send them no ground troops. That right there within itself, you know, that's why you got to know how to read between the lines. Because, you know what I'm saying, you see how the chick was talking in circles. You know what I'm saying, she was telling the truth, but still trying to come back and, you know what I'm saying, sugarcoat it a little bit. You know, that, you know what I'm saying, Germany basically said they're not going to send any ground troops, man. So that within itself shows you that, hey, ain't nobody, America's losing its power, man. Ain't nobody's hearkening to anything they say anymore, man. These nations are fed up with the big bad wolf, man. The big bad bully and his bullcrap. Okay, I'm finna start at the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. I'm gonna just start at verse 1 and read on down. The visions of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord. Power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Khan, and that's what has happened, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, has sent an ambassador among the heathens, man. You know, and he has set us up to rise up against her in battle. And the battle that we rise up against is a spiritual battle against the nation of Edom, man. You know, these so-called white people. You know, to show forth what they are who they are, man. The devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, to show you who the secret of iniquity is, make him, you know, reveal him, man. You know, and let our people know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is the power of prophecies, man. And everything that our power has spoken, you know, is going to come to pass. Just like, you know what I'm saying, all these earthquakes that you have been seeing. Just like that lesson I just did on the major earthquake that was in California, man, and it had a sequel. Another, you know, major earthquake after that day. The next day, man. A few hours later. Goes to show you what type of times we are in right now, man. We in high times. These prophecies are speaking. You also had a sedition among men in Hong Kong. A big riot broke out. You know, and you also have in certain places around the globe, you know, it's famine of the crops. They're not growing, man. In Flint, Michigan, still ain't got no water. That's a famine right there in itself. And and also in the Euphrates River, it's starting to dry up, just like the scriptures say was going to be in the end times, man. It's starting now. The Euphrates River is starting to dry up, man. And it's many more things that's happening that come to pass. That's coming to pass, man. You know, and many more things have yet to come to pass that's gonna come to pass. Just like this RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, man. They already got it. A couple of people have it already inside of them. You know, they're using it to clock in at work in certain places around the globe. You know, and they made it mandatory in certain places as well. It also is going to be made mandatory right here in America, man, in Babylon itself, man. You know, and it's going to be mandatory for everyone to have this thing. And that's a major prophecy that's going to come to pass as well. And when that happens, man, everything is just going to happen so fast, man. You know, World War III, you know, the nuclear war. The Cowards War that's going to be fought with the field of burning fire from the ICBMs. You know, all that stuff has to come to pass, man. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said it. Okay? And it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. See, just like I was saying before, Germany despised America, man. Russia despised America. The whole EU, man, really despise America. America want to, you know what I'm saying, basically give all these orders and charges, but they just celebrated their independence on the 4th, man. That goes to show you how double-minded and how devilish this devil is, man. How you gonna be independent from the European nations, man, and from Europe, but you want their help? And that goes to show you that Esau's kingdom is divided against itself, man. And if Satan's house is divided against itself, it can't stand. Cause these devils, man, they are Satan, man. That's the spirit that they move in. This is verse 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And that's what they dwelled in, man. First they dwelled in Mount Seir, then they moved on to the Caucasus Mountains, where they moved out of there later on to rule the world through Alexander, man. And that's what the word Caucasian mean, cave dweller. They dwellers in the cleft of the rocks, man, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's the pride of thy heart, man. You can see how these Edomites carry themselves around, man. This so-called white race, man. They carry themselves around like can't nobody touch us. You know, we got this here. That's how they see it, man. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is gonna bring y'all to y'all knees, man, and destroy everything that y'all have built, man, on the back blood, sweat and tears in the back of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. And y'all still doing it. You know, and that's what we understand, man. We can't rise up against the wicked until Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua rise up to the prey, man. You know, then it's gonna be time to fight our spiritual battle. Like I was saying before, you know, it's spirit. Yeah, like I said, it's a spiritual battle. You know, we fight with these scriptures. You know, this is what you see us doing out there around the four corners of the earth, man. Feeding Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's lambs, bidding many to the marriage, bringing them back and giving them that chance to earn that repentance, man, and fight for it. You know, fight for their faith. You know, by their works. You know what I'm saying? Giving that diligence to make your call and election sure, and fighting that good fight of faith. You know, to work and giving you that chance to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou that set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So even though they exalt themselves as the eagle, that's why they use the symbol of the eagle, man, just to represent how high they think of themselves. You know, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said, even though they exalt themselves as that, man, he's gonna make them, you know, he's gonna make them fall long and hard, man. And he said, even though they set their nest of the stars, man, with all they satellites, you know, they NASA space centers and all that junk, you know, he said he's gonna still bring them down, man. And that's on him. You know, he's saying you can bet that it's on me that these heathens are coming down, man. Verse 5. If thieves come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers come to thee, will thy not leave some grapes? And that's these Edomites, man. This so-called white race. You know, they come as thieves into people's countries, man, and to these other nations, and basically steal all their resources, man, and everything they have. You know, And if they drop anything, any crumbs, residue, it doesn't matter, man. They go back, you know what I'm saying, and pick up whatever they left behind, man. Just like if they had a bucket of grapes, just like it said, grape gatherers come. You know what I'm saying? They'll fill up a whole bucket of grapes, and if a couple of fall out, they gonna go sit the bucket down, and they ride or whatever they came in, they horse or whatever, man. Whatever times it was, this how they did it. You know, and they'll put the bucket up or whatever they had to carry the items in, and they'll go back and pick up what they have dropped, man, and leave not one. That's how greedy the so-called white man is. And you can see plenty of interviews of Putin, you know, the leader of Russia. He was saying how greedy America was, man. And you know what I'm saying? And just time tell story, man. You know, all that was prophecy that it was gonna be revealed who the nation of Edom was. All right, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sewn up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Con, and that's what happened with that confederacy that America had with these other nations, man. You know, they have deceived them and prevailed against them. Just like the guy was saying on the video, you know, Germany was messing with China and Russia, buying oil and stuff from them, man. Basically letting it be known that they don't deal with America and they don't need America. Even though, yeah, they'll give you a little bit of planes, like she was saying, and some satellites and stuff. But no, they ain't sending no foot soldiers. They said they not sending no man with guns in their hand to come fight your war that you started, man. That you invaded these people's country and tried to divide them within themselves. You know, this the devilish work of this devil, man. This how he does. Verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Con, and that's what he's gonna do, man. He's gonna destroy the wise men out of Edom, man. All they so-called professors and you know, and they teachers and they preachers and all that bull crap. He's gonna destroy them, man. He's gonna destroy the mount of Esau. Period. They got 1,000 years of slavery coming from them. Then they're gonna be wiped off the earth. They're gonna be eradicated, man, because that's what their judgment is. You reap what you sow. And that's what they tried to do unto the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Wipe them out completely for being a nation, man. First, they tried to do it physically. Then they tried to do it spiritually, man. By taking away our name, you know what I'm saying, and giving us their customs and making us live as pagans, man, as Satan worshipers. Because that's what our people are being. You know, they're being pagans over here in America, man. They doing the same thing that they was doing in Greek, the same thing that they was doing in Rome, man. Being worshipers and lovers of themselves. Verse 9. And thy mighty man, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau be cut off by slaughter. Con, and that's what's gonna happen after those 1,000 years of slavery, like I was saying, man. Because you got to reap what you have sown. Just like you put a yoke of iron around the so-called Negroes' neck, and you kill the so-called Native American Indians, and you also slaughtered the Tainos, man, the northern tribes, man. You know, you did all these wicked atrocities, all these wicked atrocities unto the nation of Israel. So you got to be cut off by slaughter. You know, you killed with the sword, so you got to be killed with it, man. You know, and you led in captivity, so that's why you're gonna be led into captivity. Just like the scriptures say in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, man, verse 9 on down. And that's, you reap what you sow right now. This verse 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Con, and there it goes right there, man. Eradicated off the earth for the violence against your brother Jacob, man. You know, because back in the book of Genesis, it let you know when Esau wanted to kill his brother Jacob, man, because of the blessing. And Esau said when his father Isaac shall pass, he's going to slay his brother Jacob. And that's what he tried to do, man. And that's the same thing that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai been holding to Esau to this day, man. And you see him still trying to slay his brother Jacob. Alright, now let me get another scripture. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And the end is going to come, and it's not going to tarry. As you see, like I was speaking on earlier, these prophecies are speaking, man. You know, everything is unwinding. You can see it's coming down to the end, man. You know, we are in those high times. So now is the time to, man, hey, we gotta sprint, man. We gotta run. Now ain't the time to be lazy, man. Verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lift up. Shalaki. I'm gonna start over. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lift up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Con, and that soul is lift up in Esau, man. Hey, it's not upright in him, but the just, you know what I'm saying? The just shall live by faith, and you see the just living by faith, man. And how they showing their faith? By their works, because faith is an action word, just like love is, man. You have to show your faith by your works. You just can't say you have faith, man. You know, you can't be like your father, the devil, Esau. He'll say, oh, I got faith, I believe. You know, but all his works say otherwise, man. The fruits that he present say otherwise. You know, it shows that he's a base man. And it shows that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is true, faithful and true. It said that Israel have cared about his precepts, but not the heathen, man. The heathen don't have anything to do with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's law. And they never did attend to keep it. Verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. And Khan, that's what he does, man. This so-called white man, you know, mainly the head tribe of them. Yes, all the tribes of Esau, you know, Edom, are gonna pay, but the main top tribe is doing all this wickedness. Is, you know what I'm saying, Amalek, man. You know, they top tribe, man. These so-called Jews, these Jewish rats, man. They are the ones that's funding, like I say, funding everything that's going on over there in the Middle East. They are the ones that just causing all this chaos on the planet Earth. Because you have low level Edomites that don't even know that they're Edomites, man. They don't even know who they are. They think they just American or some Englishmen. You know, that's how they get down, man. They'll deceive their own people. That's how they transgress by their wine, man. Their philosophies, man. You know, and their teachings, and they enlarging their desire as hell, man. They know they don't keep at home. You know, soon as they, like I say, soon as they left out of them carcass mountains, they went around deceiving and lying and taking over the world, man. And he cannot be satisfied, just like we just read in the book of Obadiah. You know what I'm saying? If great gatherers come back as a thief in the night, just roughly paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? Would they leave some grapes, man? There was a question mark. You know, Esau, he ain't gonna leave any grapes, man. He gonna take every single bit of them, the crumbs and all, man. That's how they get down. And you seen it over here in the Americas, man, when they came and invaded here. And just like in the Middle East, you seen it over there, man. Look what happened to Gaddafi, man. And many more of them. Bin Laden, all of them, man. All these presidents was lying about them having weapons of mass destruction and all this, man. And nukes and all that. But yeah, these other nations, they got their nukes. They talking about, you know what I'm saying, like they was talking on one of the articles, like Iran ain't had no nukes. You believe that if you want to. You know what I'm saying? And he gathered to himself all nations. That's what he want. He want all nations to drink of his philosophy and his wine and to be up under him, man. And to be as one people. That's what the whole New World Order is about, man. They said we all are one people under God, with no race, no, you know what I'm saying, no races, no nationalities. We just all one people. That's what their whole agenda is to be, man. And they want to make us cyborgs by putting that chip in us, so they can control us, man. And the masses are already being controlled, so they're gonna accept that chip, man. That's why we gotta pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that he keep us in the same spirit that we in now, man. Cause it's a terrible thing to fall against, you know what I'm saying, against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You know, cause he can send you a strong delusion and have you out here delusional thinking that it's okay to take it, man. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that is lateth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay is that debt, man. And we all seen the Dow Jones, man. We know America is in deep water, man, when it comes to debt. You know, and all these other nations, like we just seen, you know what I'm saying, is taking up a proverb against them, man. And it's a taunting proverb, basically showing that we don't need you. We don't need the great whore anymore. You know, America is the whore, man. And the Rothschilds and the DuPonts and the Gettys, they the pimp. And the rest of these people is tired of, you know what I'm saying, they tired of basically having sex with and fornicating with the whore. So they saying, man, we don't want her anymore. Y'all can have her. And what's gonna happen, man? Those top, you know, banking and elite families, they gonna push that chip, man, because they gonna see that they have that a short period of time, so they're gonna make it mandatory everywhere. And that's what they have did, man. They increase in riches that wasn't theirs, man. They laid themselves with thick clay, borrowing from all these other countries. You know, just like with the whole thing with Cristobal Colon, where he got funded for the queen over there to come over here. And there's many more other matters that how these devils did it, man. And that's basically it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that. I pray and hope that this lesson was edifying and it served the purpose. Hey, man, there you have it. You see that these prophecies, man, they're unwinding, they're unfolding, man. They speaking right now. And just like Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said, man, they ain't gonna do nothing but speed up. Especially when all his hopefully elect is sealed, man. So with that, I want to say, call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amoth, Shalom to the Hofa elect of Yasharallah and Delta America.